Welcome to the Finding Joy in the Journey podcast. This is Sheridan Ripley. I'm a teacher, a life coach, an author of 6 books, and I am so excited to be with you here today to share a tip or a tool to help you find more joy in your journey. Today, we're going to talk about fasting, feasting, and asking. Back in 2023, my friend Seidel shared this idea with Lent. And I think her friend shared it with her, how you can fast from something, feast for something, and then ask for what you desire. So for me in 2023, I was really working on communicating with Rob that year. And so I fasted from avoiding conversations because I was pretty good at avoiding talking. And I feasted on communicating and I asked for a greater connection between the two of us. It ended up bringing a really positive shift in our relationship, and I did feel more connected to him and was better at communicating with him. So I really enjoyed that. This year, I have a new focus. I am fasting from finding joy in the journey content and making it. And I might cheat a little bit by taking my 21-day challenge. That's all on video. Well, not all of it. A lot of it is on an online classroom, but there's little short videos for each day. I might take that and make it into just audio and put it on my audio podcast. That would give me 21 weeks content because I'm starting something else, but it would let me stay in contact with you guys. And I love being connected to you. So we'll see. That's kind of my plan. I don't think it's cheating because I'd get it all done before the start of Lent, which is March 5th, I think. But I will fast from creating any new content for finding joy in the journey. For feasting, I'm going to really dive into my new topic I'm going to focus on, which is actually something I've been doing for over 11 years. In March of 2014, I met Jay and his mom, Emma, and he was a nonverbal 12-year-old. And I was at a friend's house and they came over, and Jay just came right up to me and like looked at me like deep in my soul and sat on my lap. And he started giggling and I started giggling. And I just had the sense that he had a message for me, but I couldn't understand what it was. So later that night when I was praying, I felt Jay kind of come to me and try and share this message again. And I was new to energy work at the time. I'd been doing it for a few years, but I just kind of felt like if I could have a session with his mom, that I would be able to get this message for her because I felt like it was a message for her. And so I reached out to her and felt a little awkward doing so and said what had happened, that I enjoyed meeting her and Jay and that I felt like he had this message that I'd been praying, but I felt like I really needed to do that in a session with her. I needed her permission to talk to him. And I didn't know how she'd take that, but she ended up seeing how God really led us to meet each other and felt like this was a God thing. And so she agreed and we did a session, and it was the start of a really beautiful friendship with me and Jay and Emma and I as well. On my other podcast, I will share what Jay wanted to tell his mom, and I'm going to interview her, and it should be lots of fun. And I'll have episodes about the tools I love to share with my autistic children and clients and their families. Over the past 11 years, I've worked with well over 200 clients, and a good number are on the spectrum, but I do have 2 that are very dear to my heart, 2 nonverbal boys who I've actually been working on daily for at least 8 years. And their dad is actually the one that introduced me to the telepathy tapes. And I started listening to that on January 17th. And even after the first episode, I was like, oh, this is maybe something I really need to just dive into and make a focus for me. But I pondered about it. I didn't want to just jump in without pondering because of I don't want to say the weight, but like the depth of the feeling that came with that. And so I really took time to ponder that. I had just dropped my husband off at the airport when I listened to that first episode driving home. And I had 3 weeks while he was gone to really ponder and feel in my heart what I wanted to do. And by the time he got home, I was pretty sure I wanted to do this, like start the podcast and all of this. But it wasn't until February 19th, and I finally called Emma and talked to her about what I had been experiencing and my thoughts and getting her input. And we found our old messages from when we first communicated. And she shared her point of view of me meeting Jay. And it was just so fun and really ignited that spark to really just be brave enough to share, because there's incredible stories and experiences I've had over the last 11 years. Some I will share on the podcast and some I won't. However, I do know I have lots of great tools to share. So I'm excited and a little sad because I also love this podcast, but I know I can't actively work on both. So during this Lent season, I will be feasting on not only hearing other people's experiences through books they've written and podcasts they've been on, but also feasting on creating some new content to share with people with this focus in mind. It feels more like diving in, which feels good because for the last month, I've been really just looking and pondering. And today's February 22nd. I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's do this. I don't have the name of my new podcast yet, but I'm sure by the time this is posted in early March, I will. And I'll put it in the show notes. And I hope you'll join me over there if you're interested in hearing that journey. So, what am I asking for? I'm asking that the content that I create can get into the hands and the ears of people who will benefit from it, that it can be a blessing to them, and that they can receive a little bit more support and love as they travel through their challenging journey. It is challenging to have a child on the autism spectrum on all spans of it. And I have been blessed to be able to help people through that in a very small way, but still it's a blessing. And I'm happy to be a part. But I want what I share on my podcast to be able to get out there and help those who need it. So, how will you use this idea of fast, feast, and ask over the next 6 weeks, 40 days, starting on March 5th, or whenever you listen to this? It doesn't have to be during Lent season. It can start tomorrow if you want, or it can start in 3 weeks if you want. But I love this idea of fast, feast, and ask. And as right now, there's only a few days left as of me posting this of the 21 days of Love Yourself More experience, I've come up with a few ways you could use this with that in mind. You could fast from negative self talk, feast on kind words to yourself, and ask for increased self love. You can fast from victim energy, feast on gratitude, and ask for more hero energy. You could fast from mean girl energy, feast on being your own best friend, and ask for more self worth. Fasting from self judgment, feasting on a new daily routine of fill in the blank, and ask for self compassion. Feel free to take one of those or create your own. What feels right to you? What feels good for you to fast from, feast on, and ask for? I would love to hear it. Please share it with me because I am excited to hear what journey you're going to take. Thanks for listening today. I'm so excited for my upcoming Love Yourself More 21-day challenge. You can participate for free on Instagram at Power Up Your Prayers or in my Facebook group, Empower with Sheridan, from February 12th through March 4th. I'm also offering this Love Yourself More 21-day challenge as a class with extra bonuses, including visualizations, journaling prompts, and a group Zoom class to help you clear limiting beliefs and emotions so that you can better love yourself. The best part about signing up for the class is it will be there forever, and you can take longer than the 21 days if you need to, and always access the information, visualizations, etc. Visit SheridanRipley.com/Love Yourself More for information. I also have some packages I'm currently offering to support you more fully during this journey if you're interested.